How's it going, guys? It's Mike from PS Therapy. Coming to you guys with a new update on the a patent for a new PS5 controller. I don't know if you guys remember, but we get patents every so often about the PlayStation and everything. Not everything comes to fruition, but you know, it's hit or miss, and sometimes things take off for the best. Um, I'd have to say that I'm kind of excited for this one. We're going to talk about this. It's about a weight that's inside of the new controller that goes from side to side or something. I'm going to read about it. We'll see what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? But I have to say though, like the original OG DualSense controller, I love. I absolutely love it. The only thing I don't like is maybe the 6 to 8 hour battery life that it has at max if you like turn everything down. Um, but I love the immersion. I love the haptic feedback of it. I love the adaptive triggers when they actually use them in the games. Um, I don't know. To me, the controller, the ergonomic feel of it, just everything is perfect. I love that controller, and just to make it better, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Um, so we're gonna, the haptics are great, the adaptive triggers are great, but let's get into this new patent, shall we? Let's call this the DualSense V2. Okay, because there's been other patents that are coming out for a new controller as well, like extended battery life. The touchpad's going to be a touch screen. We're going to get into these topics as we go, but here we go for right now. All right, let's see here. All right, so Sony patent could take haptic feedback to next level using a weighted component. Sony Interactive Entertainment is on a mission to continuously improve the haptic feedback system for their game controllers. Why shouldn't they? Fans love it. And the immersion we get as players is a great opinion to have in an effort to take things with haptic feedback to the next level. I can see that. I can see that. Sony has recently published a new patent. According to the abstract of the patent. So, uh, we got little designs and stuff that I'm showing you here and everything. Obviously, it's supposed to be like inside of the controller. It's a little weight, it moves around and stuff. Um, I don't know. So let's just keep reading on, shall we? Let's just keep reading on. Um, a controller for a multimedia entertainment system is provided. The controller compromises a weighted component connected to the controller, wherein the weighted component is rotationally movable relative to the controller. So it moves, but the controller doesn't. So inside, we're going to have a weight that moves from side to side, I take it. The controller is configured to rotate the weighted component from a start position to an end position to shift the center of the mass of the controller in response to a trigger event. So let's say, perfect example for me, anyways, Death Stranding. So what happens when you're carrying all that cargo and then all of a sudden you get off balance? You got to hit R2 or L2 to like kind of grab it and go back to the left, go back to the right and recenter yourself. What happens if you get that weight? Now you have that weight in the controller. So say your cargo's going to the right and it's getting heavy towards the right. I believe like the weight is going to go to the right of controller. It's going to weigh it down some until you can bring it back, and you could literally probably feel the weight of the controller get more center mass. I think that would be freaking awesome. That would just even make Death Stranding 2 like that much better if they could get it in by that time. I don't know if they will, but we're going to get into this more anyways. You know what I'm saying? Wherein the weighted component stops moving at the end position. This movement of the weighted component provides directional haptic feedback to the user of the controller. I'd have to say that's pretty cool, man. I'd have to say I actually hope this actually comes out. I hope this one makes it through. I could see this really doing something awesome to just get us so much more immersed into these video games. Let's keep going here. Current game controllers only have oscillatory vibratory movements to generate haptic feedback, limiting the overall experience. Sony believes that if we add a rotational weight distribution to the current haptic feedback module, we can take the haptic experience to the next level. For this to be achieved, they think that adding a rotatable weighted component can do the trick. All right, so let's see here, and then we got a little picture of the controller, and it doesn't show us too much, but I'm sure whoever they're showing, that's what they need to see anyway, is to make a big deal and hopefully get it to pass. By shifting the center of the mass of the controller, the component will be able to map the experience in a more accurate way depending on the feedback received while playing a video game. You will actually be able to feel the weight of the controller being shifted depending on the action you take in the game. The patent further reads, currently, haptic modules and controllers and other peripherals largely consist of vibration motors, often coupled to small masses which oscillate at high frequencies to produce a rumble vibration that can be felt by the user. The range of frequencies that these vibration motors can operate at efficiently limits their use to producing these small rumble effects and the level of controller feedback they can provide. Developing effective haptic feedback for a controller is challenging, and just as effective feedback can positively impact the experience of using a controller. Ineffective feedback can distract a user and significantly distract from their experience. The present invention provides new forms of haptic feedback by significantly altering the weight distribution of the haptic module. So I'm taking it like the weights of the modules and stuff are the ones that are going to be moving in there. Instead of just spinning, they're actually going to move around in your controller. And that just seems kind of crazy. Like, I don't even know how they're going to do this, but it's Sony, guys, they're the best. We get some more pictures. Let's read some more here. Rotating the weighted component means a wide variety of different types of directional haptic feedback can be provided, such as leaning sensation when the weight distribution of the controller is adjusted to make the controller heavier on the side for an extended period of time, or a jerking sensation when the weighted component is rapidly decelerated to provide a directional impact effect on the controller. This directional haptic feedback is not achievable with existing controllers using known haptic modules, as the weight and overall feel of a controller remains central even when these haptic modules are actuated. All right. Sony has already released Duelsense Edge, its premium variant of PS5 controller. However, with PS5 rumors going wild, we could very well see this concept being used in a controller by Sony this generation. Even if they don't use it in this generation, getting improved haptic feedback will always be a welcome addition for better immersion and experience in gaming. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. So, I'd have to say I'm just super stoked about it. But just like the other patents, so we had other patents for the DualSense. We have the one where the DualSense V2 for the extended battery life, since the original only goes 6, maybe 8 hours if you dim everything down and turn everything off pretty much. The new one has an extended battery life for up to 12 hours, I was told. That was on Reddit and stuff. If you guys want to go check it out, go ahead. And then there was also another patent for another DualSense controller for, the touchpad, but the touchpad will now be a touch screen like a phone. But could you imagine like a little mini map and stuff on there on the center, and then that's where your mini map is instead of being on your screen, so it actually takes up less room on your screen and puts it on your control. I think that would be absolutely dope. Truthfully, I think that'd be one of the best controllers I've ever seen. And then, like I said, like just picture using these controllers, this like weighted controller. I'd have to say Death Stranding is probably like one of the best things I could even think of using it, because you're always carrying cargo. It's always getting uneven. The weight is shifting. So you could just imagine the weight shifting so much in that controller, and you got to constantly try to, maybe instead of hitting L2 and R2, you could use them buttons for something different now. And now you could actually take the weight and try to lean the controller left and right to keep yourself centered. Or say you're in a car and you're in a car that goes super fast, takes off from a drag race. You feel the weight shift back like you're in a car. Or if you're stopping fast, or if you're turning, you can feel the weight, like you're leaning in that car. I'd have to say, like, what Sony does is amazing. They're always constantly trying to think of new ways to get people immersed in their video games, to get people to buy their video games. Like, Xbox has no counterattack for these controllers that Sony comes up with, guys. And then so that's pretty much the end of my news rant today. Also, I want to know, how are you all doing today? You guys playing something good? Helldivers, probably some Rebirth, Final Fantasy. I can only take it. I haven't gotten to it yet. Um, I should be getting my PlayStation Tuesday or Wednesday back, another one. And I'm getting a new monitor, gaming monitor. It's gonna be sweet, man. I'm gonna have a nice setup. Hopefully, to keep bringing you guys great videos and content. Um, and if you guys like and enjoy these videos, you know what to do. Slap that like button and smash that subscribe. Hit that notification bell to all, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good day.